There are three things in this world that you need: respect for all kinds of life, a nice bowel movement on a regular basis, and a navy blazer. Divorce is expensive. I used to joke they were going to call it all the money, but they changed it to alimony. Sometimes you got to specifically go out of your way to get into trouble. It's called fun. Terrible wars have been fought where millions have died for one idea of freedom. And it seems that something that means so much to so many people would be worth having. If it's the psychic network, why do they need a phone number? A human life is just a heartbeat in heaven. You know the difference between a tornado and divorce in the South? Nothing. Someone's losing a trailer, number one. Spring is nature's way of saying, let's party. In America, they really do mythologize people when they die. I don't do well with snakes and I can't dance. Good people end up in hell because they can't forgive themselves. Most of all, I want to thank my father, up there, the man who, when I said I wanted to be an actor, he said, "Wonderful. Just have a backup profession like welding." For a while you get mad, then you get over it. Comedy is acting out optimism. Self-reliance is the key to a vigorous life. A man must look inward to find his own answers. Imagining something is better than remembering something. There is still a lot to learn, and there is always great stuff out there. Even mistakes can be wonderful. I'm a very tolerant man, except when it comes to holding a grudge. You don't know about real loss because it only occurs when you've loved something more than you love yourself. There's no shame in failing. The only shame is not giving things your best shot. When you have a great audience, you can just keep going and finding new things. Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Be kind, always. Being in the same room with people and creating something together is a good thing. On stage, you're free. You can say and do things that if you said and did any place else, you'd be arrested. I try to make sense of things, which is why, I guess, I believe in destiny. There must be a reason that I am as I am. There must be. If heaven exists, to know that there are laughs, that would be a great thing. Don't associate yourself with toxic people. It's better to be alone and love yourself than surrounded by people that make you hate yourself. There's a world out there. Open a window, and it's there. Never pick a fight with an ugly person that got nothing to lose. The only weapon we have is the comedy. I love kids, but they are a tough audience. Change is not popular. We are creatures of habit as human beings. I want it to be the way it was. But if you continue the way it was, there will be no is. You treat it as ease. You win, you lose. You treat a person, I guarantee you'll win, no matter what the outcome. My children give me a great sense of wonder, just to see them develop into these extraordinary human beings. Age makes you more confident. When you realize that it's time now to just do things. When there's not the pressure to perform on some level of expectations, there's more to just explore. Make your life spectacular. I know I did. We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race. And the human race is filled with passion. And medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for. When I was growing up, they used to say, "Robin, drugs can kill you." Now that I'm 58, my doctor is telling me, "Robin, you need drugs to live." I realize now that my doctor is also a dealer. What's right is what's left if you do everything else wrong. For me, comedy starts as a spew, a kind of explosion, and then you sculpt it from there, if at all. It comes out of a deeper, darker side. Maybe it comes from anger, because I'm outraged by cruel absurdities, that hypocrisy that exists everywhere, even within yourself, where it's hardest to see. Time is the best teacher. Unfortunately, it kills all of its students. I have not thought about it. But when I die, just dance on my grave and water the plants with what you are drinking. Please do not clone me, because after a while your clone is not as bright as you are. To be free. Such a thing would be greater than all the magic and all the treasures in all the world. All it takes is a beautiful fake smile to hide an injured soul. I'm sorry if you were right. I'd agree with you. Please, don't worry so much, because in the end none of us have very long on this earth. Life is fleeting. And if you're ever distressed, cast your eyes to the summer sky. Death is nature's way of saying, your table is ready. You must strive to find your own voice, because the longer you wait to begin, the less likely you are to find it at all. Cricket is basically baseball on Valium. Reality is just a crutch for people who can't cope with drugs. We've had cloning in the South for years. It's called cousins. In England, if you commit a crime, the police don't have a gun and you don't have a gun. If you commit a crime, the police will say, stop, or I'll say stop again. Some are born great. Some achieve greatness. Some get it as a graduation gift. Comedy can be a cathartic way to deal with personal trauma. People say satire is dead. It's not dead, it's alive and living in the White House. Marriage is a triumph of imagination over intelligence. Cocaine is God's way of telling you you're making too much money. Being a famous print journalist is like being the best-dressed woman on the radio. I stand upon my desk to remind myself that we must constantly look at things in a different way. The world is your oyster. Never stop trying new things. The only reason Mickey Mouse has 4 fingers is that he can't pick up a check. What some folks call impossible is just stuff they haven't seen before. I think it's great when stories are dark and strange and weirdly personal. Stand-up is the place where you can do things that you could never do in public. Once you step on stage, you're licensed to do that. It's an understood relationship. You walk on stage, it's your job. Then it's a question of what can you get away with. The human spirit is more powerful than any drug, and that is what needs to be nourished with work, play, friendship, family. These are the things that matter. Sometimes you can have a whole lifetime in a day and never notice that this is as beautiful as it gets. You're only given a little spark of madness. You mustn't lose it.